Hey, good morning. It's John Van stuck on the roof here at 9151 West Bell Road at Peoria Nissan, and we have another cause partner up here with us today. We just had Peoria Fire up, and now joining me is Jessica Flowers. Jessica, welcome.
Thanks, John. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you coming up. Jessica is with Free Arts of Arizona. She's the weekly mentor program manager, and you know, I'm learning about all these new causes, as is everybody that's watching all of our webcasts. And maybe you can tell us a little bit, give us kind of an overview, if you will, of Free Arts of Arizona.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Free Arts of Arizona heals abused and homeless children through artistic expression. So what that means is that we train volunteers and community teaching artists to use the arts in a healing way with kids. And these volunteers then go in and work with youth that are living in group homes, homeless shelters, and treatment centers, bringing them both the creative arts and also giving them positive adults in their lives, which is something that these kind of youth that have been through a lot of trauma really need.
So give me an idea of this artistic expression and how that helps, you know, abused and neglected kids, I guess. I mean, can you kind of take me down that path a little bit?
Sure, certainly. Well, the kids that we're working with have a lot of challenges. A few of those are that they have a tough time expressing their emotions. They've been through some pretty traumatic things, and it's hard for them to get those emotions out and deal with them in a healthy way. It's also tough for them to form trusting relationships with adults. So these are kids that have been let down by most of the adults in their lives.
Sure.
And also, I think these are kids that oftentimes don't have a lot of self-confidence because they haven't felt very successful in a lot of the areas of their life. So we provide them two things. We bring them positive adults to act like role models and mentors in their lives, but we also couple that with the arts. And what we always say at Free Arts is that art heals because there are no mistakes in art. And unlike academics, unlike even organized sports, in the arts there are no mistakes, there are no rules. So whatever a child does is right.
That's a really good point, actually. I hadn't thought of it that way. It really is.
Yeah.
There aren't any mistakes, right?
It's pretty empowering, I think. And we're talking about kids who don't get a lot of choice. You know, when you live in a group home, you don't get to choose what you eat and a lot of times where you shop and things like that. So little things like getting to choose the color of your project and having anything you decide be okay is really empowering for them.
You know, during the last couple of years, obviously, funding for nonprofits, you know, has been down by, you know, many claim over 50%, right? While needs increased, perhaps some would argue upwards of 85% during the course of the last couple of years. And I would think that your volunteer base or your mentor program is something that you're always in need of at Free Arts.
Certainly, yeah. And I think it's important to know a couple things about our volunteer base. One is that our volunteers don't need to be artists. They don't need to be artistic. They don't need to be creative. I always tell people that there's something really empowering about a volunteer that comes in and just wants to make a difference and says to the kids that they work with, hey, I'm not an artist, I'm not good at this, let's work on this together and see if we can figure it out. I think the other thing that's important to know about our volunteers is that they come from all over the place, because the cool thing about Free Arts programs is that we don't work in just a centralized location. We're serving group homes and shelters all over the valley.
So you don't have a centralized location. You're going out literally to the kids.
Exactly. We train volunteers at our office, which is at about Camelback and Central.
Okay.
So volunteers come there for their initial meetings, but after that, they are working all over in community locations, because we partner a lot with arts and culture organizations to do events for our kids. And they're also going directly into the group homes and shelters, and we've got them as far east as Gilbert and as far west as Avondale, and way up north by Lake Pleasant as well.
Wow. It's awesome. How do people get involved? I mean, let's say that you want to be a volunteer, which hopefully a lot of people do want to be a volunteer. How do people reach out to you and get involved?
Sure. I think the best way is our website. It's freeartsaz.org. And if you go on our website, you can sign up to participate in one of our volunteer orientations. And that's really the first step to becoming a Free Arts volunteer. And I should say, because we're in the West Valley, that with our core program, the weekly mentor program, we are really seeking volunteers and mentors in the West Valley right now. We have about 65 group homes and shelters in the West Valley that we work with, and our goal is to place mentors at all of those within the next year. So that's about 130 mentors that we need to fill those sites in the West.
You hear that, West Valley? We definitely need some volunteer help out here in our community, and you know, Jessica and Free Arts are providing a great avenue for that, obviously, and doing good in our community and doing well with our kids. One last question I have for you is, you know, being a mentor, of course, and I think you said it right, some people might be apprehensive because they might not be, you know, artistically inclined, right? So it's just like you said, there's no mistakes in art.
Right.
Right? So I guess the same thing goes for the mentor, you know what I mean? I'll bet, though, that these kids, not just from the arts itself, really can get attached to their mentors as well.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, and I think that's one of the challenges with the mentor program is that these kids are pretty transient, so the mentors get attached and then sometimes they don't get to see them after their program is over. But I think there's something really powerful in knowing and understanding that you're making a difference in these kids' lives. And I have mentors say to me all the time, I came into this wanting to make a difference for children, but I ended up having my own life changed and impacted in a positive way that I never expected.
Well, you know, there's an old saying, and it kind of goes like this, right? If you continually give, you don't have to worry about yourself too much, right? And it can be really a blessing, right, to the person that's, you know, doing the volunteering and doing the giving. So, you know, Jessica, I really appreciate you coming up with us today, learning more about Free Arts. Again, you can get a hold of Jessica and the folks at Free Arts at freeartsaz.org. You can see us at stuckontheroof.com, where this will be broadcast, as well as on PeoriaNissan.com and on Stuck on the Roof and Peoria Nissan on Facebook. So many different avenues, hopefully, to help get your message out there and hopefully build some additional awareness and also volunteers here in the West Valley. Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.